Oklahoma. I thought they made the plays they had to make down the stretch to win the game. Thought it was a great football game. As I told our players, while they can be disappointed, they certainly cannot hang their heads. I thought they overcame adversity today and battled and fought and had every chance to win the game. We're one step away from winning the game, maybe in regulation. And credit to Oklahoma, though, they made the play that counted and found a way to get it done. So really proud of Gary Bohannon. Went in for Charlie, scored twice in the first half. That knee from last week really was bothering him, so had turned to Zeno. And for a guy that was running the scout team, he was Jalen Hurts all week for the scout team offense. I thought he availed himself really well and hit Platt for the big play and almost a touchdown. Hit Ebner for a big play, and gave us a chance to go to overtime. So I'm proud of our guys, as I told them. Their first time being here, I think they know that they belong, and look forward to getting back here soon.
Okay, questions for the coach field. Put your hand up. We've got one on the front row, and then we'll move to this next person. Name and affiliation, please.
Sam Connie, ESPN.com. Matt, when Charlie jogged off the field, I guess, can you take me through the process of what happened and what you guys knew at that moment?
Yeah, I didn't know anything. Mike DeFee came over and said, "Coach, could you please look at Charlie? He just seems a little bit out of it." Now, I've been talking to Charlie on the sidelines, and he didn't seem out of it to me. So, but Mike, I got a lot of respect for Mike DeFee. And if he said that, so I called over Matt and said, "Hey, they're saying that on the field that they were concerned about Charlie." And so, our training staff then took him, got him to the doctor, and then they took him in for evaluation, and then they ruled him out for the rest of the game.
Before that, I think Kenneth Murray had sacked him, and he seemed to be a little slow to get up. I guess, did you guys evaluate him at that point?
I don't evaluate anyone, so I don't know about anything else. I just know what Mike came over to me and said, and I thought Mike thought it was on maybe on the hit, not with Kenneth Murray, but with I forget who it was, maybe 44. He thought maybe hit him, so he came over to me and said it. So I called the trainer, and the trainer had the doctor look at him and ruled him out.
Question on the front.
John Warner, Waco Tribune. Matt, obviously Jacob, a true freshman. What made you think he could handle that kind of pressure situation?
Well, I couldn't sit here and tell you I thought he could. I mean, I have confidence in him. Just it's who we were down to. Gary was hurting. He was hurt all week. He was trying to get it out, really couldn't move. And if you put a guy out there who can't move, he's eventually going to get hurt. So we said, let's turn to Zeno. And I think he had 3 or 4 throws last week, maybe. He got 3 or 4 throws in his career. And we turned to him, and certainly hit some big plays. But it was really just more a function of we were that's where we were at.
Got a question on the left side aisle, and then we'll come up to the front. Go ahead.
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider. Matt, the defense kind of keeping you in the game when it looked like it could get away from you, and then getting a couple of turnovers there to kind of get you right back in.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't.
Hold on a second. Jeff, do we need to change microphone? Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Is it the other mic? Use the other mic. Morgan, over here. Come over here.
All right, so Jerry, I'll answer your question. I didn't think it was going to get away from us. I mean, it's just, they scored. They really scored on 2 big plays to CD, and he's a great player. I mean, they threw an out. He made a great run. They hit that. We checked it, that play, and everyone checked it but one guy, and so they hit the other play to CD. But I thought we thought we were going to be able to take away a lot of the rushing game. Not 100%, but I mean. To hold OU to 146 yards rushing. I mean, and so it was really a function of a couple big plays, like even that last drive for the field goal, the hit or that was leading to the field goal, hit CD on the play there, and then in overtime was really a function of a face mask. We had a face mask that put them down at the 11-yard line. So I thought our defense, other than that, played really, really well. A couple of back out of the backfield and guy blows an assignment, but they made some key interceptions when it mattered, and I think that made them, start to run the ball a little more. I mean, to hold Oklahoma to 23 points in regulation, I don't think anybody's done that in a while. And so I thought our defense played great.
Question on the front, and then we'll go over to the left side.
Hey, Suzanne Halliburton, American Statesman, Austin. Matt, I guess Denzel Mims didn't have any catches, and I guess y'all targeted him, 2 or 3 times?
Well, we called a lot of them.
Yeah.
We just never kind of pulled the trigger and got it to him.
And I wanted to ask, on those last 2, or Zeno's two big passes, were those actually the plays he was supposed to run, or was that a bit of him freelancing?
No. That was a design play for Ebner, then a design play for Chris Platt. And but yeah, Denzel. I mean, that's you always have regrets after games. Just the fact, and we tried to get him involved. I thought they did a good job of kind of taking him away, but we had opportunities to probably hold one more second and hit him in the second window and didn't do it. And that's unfortunate because he's a big part of us being here, and we never quite got him involved.
Second row, left side.
Bryce Cherry, Waco Trib. Matt, you mentioned it at the outset that you're disappointed, but you don't want them to hang their heads because obviously they played, a great game. Do you feel like, I know you're just now in the moment after this one, but that you guys will go into whatever bowl game that you go to, not looking at it as like a consolation prize or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say that our track record would be pretty clear that there hasn't been a time where we've played like an entitled group. That's entitlement. When you have a game and you act like you're better than the game, that's entitlement. There's not a part of us that's that. I mean, they could have quit. You're sitting out there, you're down 10 with 8 minutes left, and you have your third-string quarterback that's never played really a meaningful college football snap, and they played their way back into it. I mean, I think, I told them, I said, get on the bus, root for LSU to beat Georgia. No disrespect to the Bulldogs, but root for LSU to beat Georgia. Let's hope they go to the college football playoff, and they should go anyway in my mind. I mean, I think they're a great team. And let's hope that they go to the college football playoff and represent the Big 12, and let's hope that we go to the Sugar Bowl. And if not, let's go to the Alamo Bowl or whatever bowl people ask us to go play in, and let's play one more game together. Let's finish as a top 10 team. Let's get to 12 wins, which has never been done. And more importantly, we'll be back. So I told the young guys, feel that pain of watching those guys, pull that stuff out and celebrate and let that drive you in the offseason. But at the same time, also understand what we've done, right? We walked off the field, and Oklahoma fans stood to applaud. And we're not doing it for fan, but I think people recognize. Even this week, some of the national stuff was, can you believe Baylor? Can you believe? How many teams would play with their third string quarterback and come back and get in there? That's a tough group. So I feel like that's why I said you have nothing to hang your head about. You went in there and you battled. It was just a little bit short. One guy catches one more ball. One guy, that guy doesn't. What a great play by that kid to run Platt down. If he just kind of doesn't make that play, who knows what happens? But that's football. But I think we'll be more than ready to go play again.
We got a question in the front row left.
Yep, Andrew Miner, 24/7 Sports. Coach, first, congrats on the season. Entering the Big 12 championship game, for the general fan, the casual fan, there probably wasn't a lot of optimism facing the Sooners again in a rematch. For those that don't follow Baylor as closely as some of other people do, how would you define your team, what Baylor is, in 1 or 2 sentences?
I think you just saw it there. I think action speaks so much louder than words, and again, to lose Charlie, and to go out there and play the way we played, and to hold OU to 23 points, and I just think that that speaks about who we are, and we're a tough, hard-nosed group. We find a way, and we'll get better and better and better every year. This is just the beginning for us. So, but I think that was really who we are.
Shahan J. Roger, TexasFootball.com. Matt, when you look at when you put Jacob in, it looked like you guys were a little bit more comfortable taking some of those deeper shots. Has Charlie been, the last couple of weeks, limited at all throwing the ball? Is there anything kind of, even before the potential head injury, was there anything kind of holding you guys back with some of the downfield passing stuff?
No. The second play, we hit the first play of the game. The second play of the game was a shot. We took a sack. We had a hard time with number 7. He was a good player. But I think there was a little bit more all right, backs against the wall. We're on the 5-yard line. We throw a double move, fake screen and go. But we called some of those things early. We really had a hard time really getting something going. So we didn't play great. Maybe up front all the time. Didn't run the ball great. Didn't protect. They have some active guys, but And then I think last week, I mean, if you watch, last week Charlie aired the ball out. I mean, he threw it up over the top early. But just couldn't quite, the one times we called him early in the game, we just couldn't quite protect. And it, just kind of been one of the things all year. We've had a hard time kind of protecting at key times.
Just final question for Coach.
Yeah, Matt. Brian Davis, Austin American Statesman. I just want to clarify that, did Mike tell you to take him out, or he just said, hey, y'all need to look at him?
Mike DeFee came to the sideline. He said, Coach, could you guys please look at Charlie? So I said, okay, Matt, can you guys look at Charlie? So he didn't like send him out of the game or anything,
Okay.
He had done that in
Texas game.
Texas game. He took it, sent him out. But he said, Coach, can you, he just doesn't, he seems off when I'm talking to him out there. And, which I didn't see, but I said, okay, if someone says that, we're going to obviously act through on it.
Right. And then just to follow up, I mean, just how would you describe what you guys showed from your three quarterbacks? I mean, three different guys and three different styles, and y'all are still in it at the end. I mean, what does that say about the coaching y'all have done at the quarterback position?
Well, I think, I want to make sure I talk about the players first. I think, I'm sad that Charlie didn't get, obviously I'm sad that he's hurt, but I'm sad that he didn't get a chance to play because he's one of the main reasons why we're here. And I would have loved to have given him the opportunity to play that game. I think he deserved the right to play that game. But obviously he got hurt, and that's part of the game. I would have loved to seen Gary if he was, full strength. He's really a dynamic runner for us. And, you get hurt in this game. And then for Zeno, literally I don't want to, you have to be careful you don't sound like you ever but literally he was the scout team quarterback all week. And then we do Fast Friday, and he was playing safety for the offense to give a look. And next thing you know, he's out there in the fourth quarter. And so, and then what I love about Gary kept saying, no, Coach, let me play. But, if you're a, dual threat dynamic quarterback and you can't run. But he got us back in the game. He drove us down there in the first half, and then Zeno did. So I just think, that's kind of who we are. Clay goes down, Terrell steps up, he's all Big 12. We never want to be one of those programs or those coaches that makes excuses. And I think that carries over to the guys. And so whoever's out there, they just kept going out and playing for them. And, like I said, if that kid, just is a step slower, Platt scores, who knows? If we don't get that, and I say that more for our kids, like for them to hear that, you're like a play away. And so I want them to know how good they are. We're a really, really good team. And but you know what? A lot of credit to you. And I want to say this about Oklahoma. They celebrate at the end as they should. And that guy Kenneth Murray, now it's twice now. They beat us 2 weeks ago in a heartbreaking loss, and they're celebrating. And it's painful when you see them celebrating right in front of you, right? That kid comes right over to me and hugs me after that game, him and Nevin Gallimore. And then today, they're celebrating, and we're getting ready to pray. And who's standing right there is Kenneth Murray, one of the best players in college football, really, in the Big 12. And you spend so much time seeing people talk about what's wrong. There's him, and there's number 44 for them. I hate they got hurt, Boogie Radley-Hiles. And they're both those kids after they beat us the last time and after this game. And those were two great college football games. Those were, we played Oklahoma, who's a top 4 team, and we lost by 3 and we lost by 7 in overtime. That hurts. And how much respect I have for those two kids, that they're the first two guys that came over to say that to me. And that's why, I love coaching college kids, because you see great stories like that. And I just want to make sure I say that about those two guys. But I couldn't have been prouder of our guys. I would have loved to have seen Charlie have a chance to play. Hopefully he's okay. And I think a lot of credit to Mike DeFee for putting health first, and then for our guys to make sure that they follow through on what he said.